Namaskar, I am Dr. Meenakshi, Assistant Professor Mathematics, Sir Chotu Ram Government College for Women, Sapla. Today, the topic of my discussion is interpolation with equal intervals. Okay, firstly, we will see what do you mean by interpolation. Interpolation is the process of estimating the value of the function for any intermediate value of the variable or argument with the help of its given set of values. Okay, what it means? Suppose we are given a set of tabulated values. Now, we are to find the value of a function at one point of the table that lies in between the values of the table. Then this process is called interpolation. Suppose y is equal to fx is known for certain values of x, say x0, x1, x2 up to xn, and the value of function at these points we may take fx0, fx1, fx2 and fxn. Then the process of finding the values of the function corresponding to x equal to xi, where xi lies between x0 and xn, with the help of this given set of data, this process is called interpolation. And when we are to find the value of the function at point x is equal to xi, where xi does not lie between x0 and xn, either xi may be less than x0 or xi may be greater than xn, then that process is called extrapolation. Okay, let us take an example. Suppose this is the data of a population, where population in years is 1961 is 12 lakh, in 1971 it is 15 lakh, in 1981 20 lakh, 1991 it is 27 lakh, and in 2001 it is 39 lakh. Then the process of finding the population for the year 1965, this process is called interpolation. And suppose if we are to find the population in the year 2005 that does not lie in between these tabulated values, then that process is called extrapolation. So in this chapter we will come across with the problems dealing with interpolation. And in interpolation there are also two cases. There are problems that deals with equal intervals and other one that deal with unequal intervals. Then what do you mean by equal and unequal? What are these cases? Let us discuss. Here the arguments, that is the values of x, if there is equal gap between the subsequent values of x, or you can say arguments, then we say arguments are equally spaced. And if this gap is not same, then these are not equally spaced, and that comes under the problem of unequal intervals. Now, while we deal with interpolation problems, we assume the following conditions. We have discussed finite difference operators, in which we have read forward difference operator, backward difference operator, shift operator, central difference operators, and so on. Now, the first condition, or you can say the first assumption, is the given function is a polynomial in x, and the degree of that polynomial depends upon the number of the given values of the function. Suppose we are given n plus 1 values, then we consider fx will be a polynomial of degree n. The second condition is the values of the function should be either in increasing order or in decreasing order. That is, there should not be any jump or fall in the values of the function in the interval that we consider. And for interpolation with equal intervals, the condition is the arguments should be equally spaced. Now Under this head, we will discuss two formulas, Newton's forward interpolation formula and Newton's backward interpolation formula. Firstly, we will discuss about their derivation, that is how can we derive these formulas. First, Newton-Gregory formula for forward interpolation. Let y is equal to fx be a function of x, which assumes the values f of a plus h, fa plus 2h and so on, fa plus nh. Here the values of x are a plus h, a plus 2h and a plus nh, and these are n plus 1 in number. So corresponding to these n plus 1 values, we have n plus 1 functions. Now by our assumption, we can take fx as a polynomial in x of degree n. And suppose we write it as f of x is equal to a naught plus a1 into x minus a plus a2 into x minus a into x minus a minus h plus a3 into x minus a into x minus a minus h into x minus a plus 2h and so on. Suppose last term is an into x minus a into x minus a plus h into last term x minus a plus n minus 1 into h. Here a naught, a1, a2, an, these all are constants that we have to determine, and we are given the values of a plus h, a plus 2h. So these values we can use in defining the polynomial fx. Now for finding these values, we put the values of x one by one, and in the first step we put the value of x as a. When we put x is equal to a, then by equation 1, all the terms except the first term become 0 on the right hand side of it. So it becomes f of a is equal to a naught. So from here the value of a naught is found. Now for x is equal to a plus h, now we substitute x is equal to a plus h in left hand side and right hand side of equation 1. Now in right hand side, if we put x is equal to a plus h, then again only two terms are non-zero, other terms are 0. From here we can find the value of a1h delta fa upon h given by equation 3. Here delta fa means first forward difference operator, and which is equal to f of a plus h minus f of a. Now for x is equal to a plus 2h. Now put x is equal to a plus 2h on both sides of equation 1. Then again only 3 terms are non-zero. All the terms except these 3 terms are 0. Now in this we put the values of a naught, a1 and a2 in terms of the function. And after regrouping or simplifying these, we find that the value of a2 comes out to be del square fa upon factorial 2 into h square. Here del square means second order forward difference operator. Similarly, by again putting the value of x as a plus 3h, we find the value of a3, and by putting x is equal to a plus nh, we find the value of an. So we can in this way find all the constants, that is a naught, a1, a2, a3 and an. Now substitute these values in equation 1. Here fx becomes f of a plus x minus a into delta fa upon h plus x minus a into x minus a minus h into del square fa upon factorial 2 into h square plus so on, and we are left with an equation 4. This equation 4 is actually the Newton-Gregory formula for forward interpolation. But this is more complicated. So to simplify this equation much more, we put u is equal to x minus a upon h. From here we get the value of x as a plus uh. Now x minus a becomes uh. Again we find the value of x minus a minus h, x minus a minus 2h and x minus a minus n minus 1h in terms of u and h. Now again substituting these values in equation 4, we find that f of a plus uh, this is equal to f of a plus uh into del fa by h. If we look, h will be cancelled out from numerator and denominator. In third term also h square will be cancelled out, and so on. All the terms of h will be cancelled out. Now we are left with only u and the forward difference operators of the functions. So the above result can also be written as f of a plus uh is equal to f of a plus u1 by factorial 1 into del fa plus u2 by factorial 2 into del square fa plus u3 upon factorial 3 del cube fa plus so on un by factorial n del n fa. Here u are in the superscript, means u into u minus 1 into u minus 2 up to u minus r minus 1, and this is the compact notation for all these multiple entries, and this is a polynomial of order r. Now the expression in equation 5 we can call this is the Newton-Gregory formula for forward interpolation that we usually use for solving our problems. Now, second formula in this category comes Newton-Gregory formula for backward interpolation. So again we assume that y is a function of x, which assumes the value of f of a plus nh, f a plus n minus 1 into h, and so on. Last value is f of a for values of x, and values of x we take as a plus h, a plus n minus 1 into h, a plus nh. Here again n plus 1 equidistant values of x are given, and corresponding to these values we have obtained the value of the function. Now, as per our assumption, for n plus 1 observations we can fit a polynomial of nth degree, and suppose this polynomial may be written as a naught plus a1 into x minus a plus nh plus a2 into x minus a plus nh into x minus a plus n minus 1 into h, and so on. Last term will become an into x minus a plus nh into x minus a plus n minus 1 into h, and so on x minus a plus h. Here we have started from reverse order. Again here a naught, a1, a2, an, these are the constants that we have to determine. Now putting the values of x as a plus nh, we start from the last value of the argument, that is a plus nh. Now if we put x is equal to a plus nh in equation 1, then we see that all the terms except the first terms become 0. So from here we find the value of a naught. Then again put the value of x as a plus n minus 1 into h. Then also from here the two terms are non-zero on right hand side, all other terms become 0, and from here we can find the value of a1 in terms of the backward difference operator, and that is del f of a plus nh upon h. Here this is first backward difference operator. Now put x is equal to a plus n minus 2 into h. Now from here again f of a plus n minus 2 into h will be a naught plus a1 into minus 2h plus a2 into minus 2h into minus h. Now again putting the values of a naught, a1 and a2 in terms of the function, and after rearranging the terms we approach that a2 will become del square f of a plus nh upon factorial 2h square. Similarly we can find the values of a3, a4, so on, and lastly an. So we have found all these values in terms of the backward difference operators. Now substitute these values in equation 1. We find the value of fx as f of a plus nh plus x minus a plus nh into backward difference operator f of a plus nh upon h, and so on. Next terms will contain second backward difference operator, and last term will contain nth order backward difference operators. And in equation 2 this is the Newton-Gregory formula for backward interpolation. So again to simplify it, we put u as x minus a plus nh upon h. From here we can find that x will be a plus nh plus uh, and again from here x minus a plus nh will be uh. Similarly we can find all the other expressions in terms of x in equation 2 in terms of u and h, and then again putting these values in equation 2 we are left with equation 3, and this is the Newton-Gregory formula for backward interpolation. So we are to remember these formulas if we are to solve the particular problem dealing with these methods. Now here we have done two types of formulas, that are Newton-Gregory formula for forward interpolation and Newton-Gregory formula for backward interpolation. Then how to decide what type of formula we have to use in a particular problem. Then in the problems where we have to find the value of the function at a particular point and that point lies near the beginning of the table, in that situation we use Newton's forward interpolation formula. And if we are to find the value of the function at a value of x and that value lies near the bottom of the table, then in that case we are to use Newton-Gregory formula for backward interpolation. Now we will discuss some problems in which we can distinguish which type of formula is better to use in that situation and how can it be used, we will see later. Okay, first example. The first problem is, here we are given a set of values in which the values of x and their corresponding functional values are given to us. We are to estimate the value of the function at 2.3 and for this, in this problem we have to use only 5 of the given values. So we start from the value of x taken as 2 as our first entry. So first of all we are to construct a difference table. If we apply forward difference, then we call it as forward difference table, and if we apply the backward difference formula, then we call this as backward difference table. Okay, now the first column will be the values of x. In second column we write the values of fx in a vertical manner. Now the next column will be the first forward difference, that is del fx. Then how will we calculate this? This will be the difference of the values of fx, conjugative values of fx. Suppose if we subtract, look at the second column, that is at the values of fx. For finding the first entry in the third column, we subtract 46 and 17. We subtract 17 from 46 and that comes out to be 29. Now in second entry, how can we get 97 minus 46? For third entry, 176 minus 97, and last 289 minus 176. So in this way we can find all the entries, all the elements of first forward operator. Now we will find del square fx, our next column, fourth column. This is the difference of the first forward difference. So 51 minus 29, that will be equal to 22. 79 minus 51, that is equal to 28. 113 minus 79, this comes out to be 34. Again, for finding the third order difference, we take the difference of the second order difference, and 28 minus 22 comes out to be 6. 34 minus 28 again comes out to be 6, and for del 4 it becomes 0. So this is our forward difference table. Now because we are to find the value at 2.3 and 2.3 lies near the beginning of the table so we use 2 as the value of a. Here the values of x are equally spaced and that equal gap is equal to 1, so we take the value of h as 1, and we are to find the value of the function at 2.3, so we take the value of x as 2.3. So first of all we will find the value of u, that is x minus a upon h, and the value of u comes out to be 0.3. Now write Newton's forward formula. We write it as here we are to use the values of u1, u2 means u into u minus 1, u3 means u into u minus 1 into u minus 2. And the value of u is known to us. Okay, it is clear. Now here fa, del square fa, del cube fa, these entries are also to be taken from the table. Now what entries, which values we will take? So for this we will take the leading values, that is here you can see the entries in bold, that is in fx column 17, del fx 29, del square fx 22, del cube fx 6. So if we use forward interpolation formula, we take the values from the beginning, that is leading values. So we put all these values in this expression and simplify it, and our answer will be 23.747. Next, we are to find the number of men getting wages between rupees 10 and 15, and this is the table given to us, and this table comprises of two columns. First one is wages in rupees and second one is frequency, that is it is the number of men. So first that value represent number of persons getting wages between rupees 0 to 10, second 10 to 20, third 20 to 30, and last one is 30 to 40. So first of all we convert this table in less than type form. So our first entry in X will be below 10, below 20, below 30, below 40, and frequency will be changed accordingly. In below 10 we take the value which are less than 10, that is 9. Below 20 means sum of 0 to 10 and 10 to 20, and that comes out to be 39. For finding below 30 wages, number of men will be 74, and below 40 the number of men will be 116. So we convert this in below type or less than type table. Then we find our first forward differences, then second, and then third. So in this way we can construct our forward difference table. Now we are to find the value at 15 first. So we take A as 10, the gap between the subsequent entries arguments is 10, so we take the value of H as 10, and we are to find the value of function at 15, so we take X as 15. Now find U by X minus A upon H, and U comes out to be 0.5. Now write down the forward interpolation formula, and again we are to use the values of U, FA, del FA, del square FA, del cube FA from the table, and that will be the leading entries. In this way we have find that the number of persons whose wages are below 15 are 24, but we are to find the number of persons getting wages between rupees 10 and 15. So we subtract below 15 and below 10, and that comes out to be 15, and that is our answer. Next example is, this is the value which represent the values of the sine function at 45, 50, 55 and 60 degree. So we construct our difference table. X, fx are given to us. First we find first forward difference del fx, then del square fx, then del cube fx, in the same way as we have discussed earlier. Now take A as 45 degree, the difference is 5, so take H as 5, and the value of sine 52 degree is to be determined, so we take X as 52 degree. Now first of all we find the value of U, and that comes out to be 1.4. Now write down the Newton's forward interpolation formula, and again by using the values of U and conjugatively the forward difference operators, we put these values from the table and simplify, and we reach our desired result. Next example. Here again the values of x and fx are given, and we are to find the value at 7.5. So look here. Here 7.5 lies near the end of the table. In all the three examples, if we say see, in first example we are to find the value at 2.3, that lies near the beginning of the table. In second also at 15, that lies also near the beginning of the table. In third example we are to find the value at 52, and 52 means it lies between the mid, so you can say. So in that case you can apply any one of the two, Newton forward or backward, it depends on our choice. But in this particular example we are to find the value at 7.5, and 7.5 lies near the end of the table. So in this problem we use Newton-Gregory formula for backward interpolation. So first of all we are to construct the difference table. So write first column as x and second as fx, and this is given to us. Now we construct the column comprising of first backward difference. Now the method to finding the backward differences is also same as we have constructed our forward difference table. So our first entry will be the difference of 8 and 1. Look at the column of fx, we will subtract these entries, then we will find the first backward difference. So 8 minus 1 will be equal to 7. 27 minus 8 will be equal to 19. 64 minus 27 will be equal to 37. 125 minus 64 will be equal to 61. 216 minus 125, 343 minus 216, and 512 minus 343. In this way we can construct our first backward difference column. Now we construct second backward difference and again third backward difference, and we see that all the values in the third column, third differences are 6. So in our fourth difference, if we take, that comes out to be 0, so we don't take it. Now here in forward difference table, we use the values in the formula from the beginning, but in backward difference table you see that the values in the end are bold, so we use these values in our formula. The last value is 8, so we take it as a plus nh. The difference between the values of x is 1, so we take h as 1, and we are to find the value at 7.5, so we take x as 7.5. Now we find the value of u, and in case of backward difference formula, how can we calculate u? U is x minus a plus nh upon h. So we put all these values here and find the value of u as minus 0.5. Now we write down the Newton's formula for backward interpolation, and here you see that the values of u, f of first backward difference, second backward difference, third backward difference, and so on, these all are used, so we put these values here. Now the value at function 7.5 comes out to be 421.875. Now our next example is find the value of an annuity at 5.3/8% given the following table. Again we are given a table. The values of x, that is rate percent, and their corresponding functional values are annuity value, and we are to find the annuity at 5 and 3/8, and we see that this value lies near the end of the table. So again here we use Newton's backward interpolation formula. So first of all we construct our difference table, and we take the values of x as our first column. In second column you see that in values are given in fractional form or in decimal form, so to avoid complications in our calculation, we multiply it by 10 raised to the power 5, so that decimal is removed. So second column is 10 raised to the power 5 into y, you can say y or fx. Now the next column will be our first backward difference. Our first backward difference is the differences of 1628889 and 1729203. So we take the differences of these two conjugative values of the functions, and we find it as our first backward difference entries. Then we take the differences of the first forward backward differences, then we will find the second backward difference, and the differences of second backward differences will be third, and there will be fourth. So in this way we construct our difference table, and here we will again use backward difference formula. So the values at the bottom of the table are highlighted, that we will use in our formula, and the last value of x is 6, so we take it as a plus nh as 6, and the value of h will be 1/2 and x will be 5 and 3/8. Now by putting all these values we can find the value of u as minus 5/4. Now again we put the backward interpolation formula, so we write the backward interpolation formula. So remember these: f of a plus nh plus uh is equal to f of a plus nh plus u by factorial 1, backward difference operator f of a plus nh plus u into u plus 1 by factorial 2, backward difference operator, second backward difference operator you can say, plus u into u plus 1 into u plus 2 by factorial 3, and here again the third backward difference operator. So again multiply it by 10 raised to the power 5 and put the values from the table, and lastly divide the value by 10 raised to the power 5, and in this way we can find the value of the function at 5 and 3/8. So this is our Newton backward interpolation formula. So here we have discussed our Newton forward interpolation formula and Newton backward interpolation formula, and we see that this is all about our interpolation formula dealing with equal intervals. So if we again summarize the results, we can take interpolation is the process of finding the value of a function at a particular value of x, and that values lie within the set of the tabulated values, and if this value lie outside this set of tabulated values, we say this method is called extrapolation. And in interpolation we have discussed the problems that deals with the interpolation with equal intervals. Equal intervals means the values of x, that is the values of the arguments, are equally spaced. And here we have derived first Newton forward interpolation formula, then Newton backward interpolation formula. Then we have discussed the problems dealing with both the formulas, that is Newton forward interpolation and Newton backward interpolation. So this is all about the interpolation with equal intervals. So you can practice more questions based on this and try to derive these expressions, these formulas by noting down in your notebook. Then you can remember this formula for more time as compared you only wrote these formulas or simply read again and again. So the best method to write these formulas is to write down in your notebook, and in every question you solve, write down the formula at your own. Don't copy it from your book or from other. Try to write it down at your own, so that it may be set in your mind and you can solve in a better way and with a great speed and more complicating. Okay. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day.